Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, back again, and once again looking down at the city of Revergrad. I hope everything over in Revergrad is doing well. I have been fast forwarding a fair amount of time, not a huge amount, but was over there getting roads constructed, so I assume everything over here is doing okay. We certainly seem to have enough, professors coming out of here. So how does it look if we look at our population stats? Gives you some rough idea. It doesn't tell you if you have localized problems, but we certainly don't have that many unemployed workers, or we have about the same number, I should say. Not that many more. And our same thing with our uneducated. So, but we might be able to take care of that sometime soon here, and I'll show you why. But first, let me go over and talk about renaming a couple places. I was responding to a comment yesterday and realized that in particular this construction office name was horrible because it, when referring to the construction office, it was the construction office. So I decided to go ahead and change the names, and Adam had made a couple suggestions for Hungarian names. So here's the risk you guys take if you give me foreign names, which is anything but English. Hygiodal, Hegiodal, I'll say it some way. Obviously, not probably going to say that right at all. And then Epitophilau. And apparently this means construction village, and this means something along the lines of Mountain View. More than happy to name things in foreign languages. Just this name, when it was given in this, it has all kinds of accent marks on there. I have no idea. I'm sure they mean something like don't say this letter and say this one louder. But as you know, in English, we don't really have any accent letters. I mean, very, very rarely do you ever see that in English. So, but in any event, we're now no longer calling it construction office, which is, I think, an improvement. Now, this is, I promised you guys that I would give a little bit more of a recap in the beginning of each episode. So I expect this to be a construction episode. And to recap where we're at, we're just, we do want to build our new Revergrad here. And as part of that goal and our electrical city, we want to get a village here just in order to get it to the point that we can do more construction. I might even expect that we would potentially even get rid of this village, though that may be a little more painful to do when it actually comes to hitting the demolish button. But we'll see how Neue Revergrad goes, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound? So, what has happened between the episodes is that we have constructed more of these roads, particularly in town, but we've also made some progress towards this direction from both ends. So eventually we may have a bit of we definitely will. We'll have a connector road there, but we'll be able to get another construction office going up here, which will be good. And because they can be not too inefficient for them to come down here and get supplies and people. So that'll be a good, big help. But what I would like to do, and before, it'll be a little while before this gets built up, is conduct an experiment. I had to build a few paths in order to get these people to be able to reach this bus stop. And it turns out that we took one of the buses off of here at some point. Let's look at our mechanisms. We have two buses in here, so this one looks like it was going at one point to Epitophilau construction, so up here. No, this is, okay. See, that's the other problem. I don't know what these words actually they don't mean anything to me in a sense, but I'll get used to it. Okay, so I don't know why we would have had three buses at one point, or at least I forget. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to come in here and get rid of their bus stops. And we could try to start using this bus to come from here. I guess the first stop, I'm just going to, hopefully we have enough people here. This is only going to be temporary because once we get the stores going. But we're going to try to set this up so they get their needs met by going from there to there. Now, what I want to do, I think, at that point, and I haven't done this before, not related vehicles, where citizens should be go. So the number of passengers is what we want. So hopefully we'll just get the passengers coming from here to there. Now I don't know if he's going to end up picking up people and bringing them up here. So what I don't really want, I don't think that people need to come back, right? They just need to go there. I don't really know, but what I was hoping, yeah, say good. So we can set up workers, students, passengers. So I just want you to pick up passengers and bring them back and forth. Good. I'm very glad to see this. Now, there shouldn't be any passengers on that other bus stop, so I don't know if that's going to cause a problem, but good. So this bus stop should only get passengers, and we should be able to go back and forth. So in the long run, this kind of wouldn't work anyway, right? So the other problem that I have is if I put workers on here, well, no, this bus could only get passengers. Okay, so we do want workers here, don't we? Yes, because we'll get another bus going here. So let's get this guy started, just so we don't forget. And then what I want to do here, I'll pause time because we'll go look at our educational needs, right? Like, let's come up to Limbriska and see how are we doing on. Oh yeah, look at that, we're getting pretty low. Yeah, we only have one teacher in there, so good. It's a good thing we came up here and checked. So let's get this one straightened out first. We don't have to fill this up, but it'll be good if we can at least see that they get their needs met, right? So let's just kind of take everybody out of that house. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll just, even if we get a few educated in there. So what we'll do now is come over to Revergrad. One of the other suggestions, by the way, was that we end up trying to bus people just from some population center just to do the asphalt and gravel over in that area in the, you know, by our new, I forget the name of the town. These two houses I built just for the purpose or the reason that, you know, when you don't have good people at your like steady, just, you know, always have one or two people in your asphalt or concrete, it really messes up your production because those plants actually hold a slight amount of people. It's like, or a slight amount of asphalt, like they'll go pick up like 0.5 asphalt and then it's out. And then you get a few people in there and then the truck fires up again and it becomes a very frustrating thing in my experience. So I hope I said that clearly enough. So I'm not going to do that just for my own past experience, but I'm definitely willing to. There you go. So that should get rid of that being a problem. Now let's see. Do we need any more? How are we doing over here? And we still have 50, so I'm not going to mess with them too much. If we just need to grab people, we'll grab people. Probably from Energenisk. Been grabbing a bunch of others from other places, but does this guy do the school? Yes, and he still has 60, so I'm sure we just redid this one not too long ago. And how are we doing over here? 52, so we really don't need to take people out of there. And we have two places over here. One is this one. Yep, we got 68 people, very good. And we only have 40 in here. Might be worth taking a few of them out. And I think I might, let's go grab some more people from Revergrad over here. You have a lot of extras, a fair number. Now eventually we will need educated people up, and that will be a problem, is not having the schools up there, right? So we'll see how that goes. All right, well, we'll grab them out of here and here if we need them. So let's go back to here. We'll get us a little closer. Oops. Yeah, the game is getting a little bit laggy in a different way than it ever was before. So, all right, so let's take and relocate. Yeah, I really wish it would just take the uneducated out first, at least. All right, so now this one, let's go back to here. And we'll take the educated back out of this one. Put them back in here. And we'll close that. And this is the one we're going to dump them back into. So we'll just take a few here. There we go. So that's that. So now what I'd like to do is, I'm sure we have some people here. We have too many people in this area, so we're just going to take a couple from there and maybe take a couple from here and sort of fill this house up. If we lose a few people because of inefficiency, that's fine too. But at least there won't be any educated people there. So let's now take a few from this one. And that should just redistribute our population a bit. Good. So we should have helped our educational thing as much as we need to. And we've now got this full of people. And this bus is just barely on its way. So let's play time again. And these people should, look at them go. Okay, look, good. This path is done. So let's build some more paths. Yeah, I'm not sure the benefit of all these different paths, like why there's 3 connections. It doesn't seem to make a difference, but you know what, we might as well at least put these all out here, right? Because why not? We don't have to build them right now, but we'll get them done. Yeah, so we're not going to have nearly enough buses, are we? But let's buy another bus. You know, let's go for the biggest, fastest. 63, 70. Yeah, you know what? I don't want the biggest, fastest because we're not going to have this long of a bus route in the future. I'm just going to go with my favorite. Be boring. Now, where is the bus that's... No, that's a construction bus. Oh, wait, you know what? We can come here. There we go. Copy his settings to this guy. All right. And then start. All right, so those guys should be getting their needs met. And then now what we can do, and I think we should get a smaller bus for this task. Let's get a small, fast bus. 85, 90 miles per hour, 7 passengers. Yeah, little blue bus. I think we've used little blue bus before. And little blue bus is going to go from here to here, and it's just going to get workers. And I want to check our other new buses. Oh. All right, so they should get some workers over to the asphalt plant, in theory at least. And we never did commit to our footpaths. And this means this guy is probably done working. And I'm going to set him to... Well, I really need to get... I think we need a school as much as we need anything else, right? Like if we're going to get other needs met, I don't necessarily... I'm not sending students down there at this moment, so... Before they revolt on me for that reason. And so we don't want anything but workers waiting here. And let's go catch our buses. Oh, again, the construction one. Yeah, this guy, because I want to check, did we get... you know what, I'm doing this the dumb way, aren't I? Yeah, see, I got it so where I want to make sure he doesn't pick up any workers. Really doesn't need to get students either, does he? Though we probably could, right? Yeah, you know what, let's leave it on students and see how that goes. Alright, so now let's come back to here because it's by far the where am I at? Over here. Look at the related vehicles. What is this guy? Oh, that's the other one. Yeah. All right, so we want to just get students. Don't get workers when you're there. We really don't want to. Yeah, see, this is where the one-way thing confuses me a little bit. You would think they have to bring these people back, but I'm thinking we don't actually want to load up anybody from ChemSol, right? Because that will just not be good. But I don't think they will, because I think we should have ChemSol not loading those. So let's see what happens. All right, I hope all of that makes some slight degree of sense. All right, so those two buses should be fixed. The bus platform itself, yeah, let's allow for students to go there. And then we did make this little guy just workers, yes. All right, so it makes setting up the buses a little more complicated, but I think we've got it. Now, do we have workers in? No, not there. Here. Yes, look, we have 2 workers. Yes, we have workers. All right, so now let's take this guy, the construction office, and we should be able to change. Hopefully this goes well. Change your source for workers to here. Gravel's the same. Asphalt, you're going to get from here. And concrete, you're going to get from there. Yeah, so there's nothing. Yep, all of these are epitofalu. Epitofalu. Definitely have to get rid of that. So yeah, look, we have a little bit of asphalt there. Now, how's our storage here doing? Good. We brought out a bunch of cement. Cement for days over here, or weeks. Good. So now we have a little concrete buffer. So that, you know, if this works, and I don't know how well it's going to, but at least, you know, we'll have a chance anyhow of that working out. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Hopefully they don't all escape. We were completely full, right? So it would be nice if you could see. Doesn't really tell you how many people escaped from a particular building, does it? That's all right. Well, we'll see. All right, so how are we doing on this road? We're still building. Oh, this guy's almost done asphalting this. That's good. And it's kind of hard to keep track of what they're all working on. So let's just go to each one and make sure they're fairly busy. Yes, this guy's going to be a little while making the school, but hey, hopefully a lot faster than he was. And then this guy has been working on these little roads. He's not necessarily a road paving crew, but when it comes to all these little roads, it's not like you really need, you know, a road paving crew to deal with them, right? So this guy's already got somebody on there. Which road are you actually working on? Looks like you're making, okay, yeah, so you're working on this road, which we need to get into there. But really, you know, I think it's fine that you're working on that road, but I think I'm also going to get you to work on whatever the heck that is, the kindergarten. Good, because that'll be another, they don't need to go to the bus stop. So we'll work on the 2 schools first, since they should be able to go do shopping in other places. And we could probably, while we're up here, start getting some more footpaths. Well, you know what? Before we get more footpaths, let's finish what we were doing. So this guy now has 2 tasks. Good. Now this one was getting close to done before I started the episode. Yep. Let's go over to Lumbriska, and we'll just keep them plugging along on this road here. This will be a nice, good occupy their time, and that'll get us right up to close. So we'll be able to get this construction area done, and then we have these 2. Yeah, they're still knee deep in it, and these guys are working on the long road over there, so they got quite a ways to go. So these guys have been just also doing the little roads there. So cool. All right, so now let's lay out a few more footpaths just so that we can, there's no reason not to, I don't think, now that we got some of these roads built. Yeah, so we want to get... Can I go from... No. Oh, yeah, I can. How's that? So that'll get them... And they can come in the street there, too, so it's not like they had to have that, but... So what is this? Oh, this is the tennis court. Yeah, see, one of the things I want to do is get them... What is... I can't really see. Okay, so that's the end of the street there. Yeah, it comes in, and so the road access to this is over here. Well, that's fine. It's... Now, can we go from there? Oh, yeah, we can. That's uglier than sin, but... How about, is there some other... Not that building in the way, yeah. You know what, I wanna, let's cancel that and that footpath. Can I go from here? I think we're just gonna have, I don't know, I think it, whatever, that's fine, right? It actually looks better than it does, in a sense. Like, it's sort of, anyway, the graphics issues are like duplicated in a sense, but so let's put this guy, say, over to here. And this is just a road cargo station, so we don't need that. Now, what is this over here? Oh yeah, we definitely need to be able to get to the pub. But they could probably get to the pub this way. Now if they're coming from a further over here, well, they'll have to come down the street and go in there. I think that's enough, probably enough footpaths for the moment. Certainly enough little projects for somebody to do. Eventually the school should probably, yeah, can we get a footpath through here? Yeah. Well, I think I'll come this way. You know what, can I even get around there? Maybe. Alright, let's cancel that. You know what, I think I will bring this out to here, because then I do plan, well, I don't know if we'll ever do it, but if we do keep this area, we could put like houses all in here, so it wouldn't hurt to have that footpath. Good. Now the only other thing we might want, or definitely will want, I think, is like some footpaths. Can we go? No, nowhere over there, huh? Really? Okay. Well, I'm gonna do this then. You know what? I'm not going to attach all those up because it just makes 72 different little projects, and I don't even know that they really need those connections on the ends. Let's see. Let's see if we can. It's not going to attach anywhere over here. That's all right. Like I said, I don't even know if they really need that. Good. Well, there's about 42 more projects. All right. How are we doing? So we should be... See, yeah, people here are not happy enough, though... Unable to go to church. I don't care about that. Unable to visit a hospital. Nothing we can do about that. Unable to participate in any sport. Well, passengers should be going down here to get sport, shouldn't they? We do have sport down here, don't we? Yeah, we do have tennis. Is this one of our... Yeah, this is one of our buses. Dropping off some people. Let's see. I don't think I want them picking anyone up. And they didn't, so that's kind of good. Again, I don't know if 2 buses is enough. Maybe it's sort of quite a distance there, but and I don't. This is all kind of temporary, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to worry about it. But other than that, yeah, I think we're not doing too well, is the way I would describe it. But again, maybe the issue is more buses. So let's see. Oh, this is a worker bus. Yeah, these are all worker buses. But are we making steady asphalt? That's no workers. Yeah, and this is a problem. So despite, and this is going to continue to be a problem. And part of the problem that I hate about this is that, well, and we're going to buy another little bus, and we're going to take this guy. Let's see, make sure he's, get workers, load, unload workers, that's fine. Copy your route. Part of the problem with this is when if they ever get into a traffic jam, like if a train crosses, these guys just end up all jammed up, and then you still don't get a good steady supply of workers. But this will be something that we have to deal with permanently. So I really wish there was a way to like time out the buses, Yeah, and see, part of the problem is we just may not have any workers. I mean, they might all just be on the buses going down to... Yeah, we might just need more houses in this area too. So now the problem that we've caused ourselves is, rather than the long, slow route to go get asphalt that we used to have, we have none. So we've actually managed to, slow down the construction to stopped by trying to do it this way. So even though we're trying to be more efficient, and we've got people being bussed for their needs, we just don't have enough workers up here. Which, okay, so that means that if we build another, what is this guy doing? He could start building a house, right? He's building the kindergarten, yeah, which we need the kindergarten too. So when it gets into this whole conversation, this is kind of why I don't do this, is because we've now managed to stop, being able to get asphalt and concrete. Now, fortunately at this moment it doesn't matter, so we're still proceeding, so. Where if we were just doing it the slow, it's sort of like, do you want to be the tortoise or the hare? and there's sort of advantages to both, but in some circumstances in life, the tortoise actually does win because it's slow and steady and methodical, and it just works, where this is prone to catastrophe in a sense, right? Yeah, see, I don't see any people coming out of there. Why now? Is there another reason nobody's coming? I mean, I know it was working a minute ago, so yeah. See, I think we're just sucking up all the people. There's not enough people because the construction crews are just stealing them all. So by the time the little blue bus comes by, it's just either hit or miss whether or not he's even going to get any people. Now look, now this guy stops and gets gas. Now, does this guy need gas? No. See, this guy doesn't. So now they're right on each other's tails, more or less. And if this, it's just constantly that they do this. It would really be nice if there was a way to say, you guys are on the same route, and I want you to maintain, separation of some sort. But we might get some people this time, because we see some people waiting. No, why are you not? Did I undo the wrong thing? Load and unload workers. Yeah, this is Electrical City Train Crossing Bus Platform. Wouldn't think it would be called that. Why didn't you pick up any people? Oh, because were they already spoken for? I know there's sort of a... there seems to be a bit... Like when you have buses coming in and out of here like this... See how it says get 26% of the people? And I'm wondering if that's not part of... Like those were already spoken for, the people that were on that. These guys are doing a heck of a bang up job just sucking every single worker out of here. Which really isn't the experiment, other than in some ways the whole thing is, like I said, just, yeah, they're just constantly running back, getting every single person. Okay, they don't even have workers. Number of workers, 0. Yeah. Well, and then we've lost a few more out of here for not being happy, though. Yeah, they're not happy about not being able to get sport, even though it's down there for them. Maybe they just don't have the time to go do the bus ride and all of that, but we'll see. Until we get all of this built, it is just a grand experiment. So, good. Well, I think what I'm going to do is pass a little bit of time off of, pause the video and then just get a few more things built over here, and I'll come back in not too long and we'll see how this is going again. In the meantime, I'll just sort of keep these guys building something, and it's a little bit easier to do when I don't have to think about talking about it the whole time. How are we doing here? Are you guys done yet? No, but they're very close. Good, that's a long ride for them. They're doing pretty well over in this construction office. So pretty sure I'll keep that one open for a minute just so I can get them sign that, and then we'll get this built. But I'll come right back pretty shortly and we'll see how things are going. I wanted to share with you an observation that I consider to be a pretty big problem. The two buses here are riding back and forth, constantly picking up no people. And I think the reason is that this Electrical City bus platform has passengers and students, but it doesn't have any workers, right? So these buses they're just like looking for the number of people at the bus stop, it seems like. And then they go in here and they don't pick anyone up. So they're just doing this constant loop back and forth here until they actually get a worker by chance, right? And I just don't have that many workers. So, certainly going to up the priority of getting more workers up here. So I've building these roads and these roads is a bit of a priority, but the work that the overall effect right now, and I would say that the problem isn't that this system doesn't work at all. It's the problem is I don't have enough people in this area, and they spend so much time going down and getting their needs met that they don't seem to actually be getting many workers to go do things. So far, this is pretty much ground the one construction office, and it's the reason I only let this one construction office go in the, 10 minutes or so on regular speed. They've gotten nothing done effectively, or very, very, so much that I haven't even noticed that they got something done. So at this point, while it's not a complete failure, what I would say is that it's really making me want to get these people, at least until we get more workers, they need to go back to getting their workers from ChemSol, right? Because it's not working. It's not that I don't want it to work, but until we get more houses up there, we're effectively not, we just don't have enough workers there. And even if they have to go all the way back and come back and forth, it would be better than getting nothing done, right? So hopefully this guy will switch his, oops, there he goes. Yeah, so hopefully he'll switch his route. Yep, there he goes. So he's going back to the construction office. So now he'll actually go get some people, which may be the best thing to do too, because now we should get, yeah, see, now we're, even just with that little bit, we're getting some workers working. So again, it hasn't solved our problem, but I don't think it's because it's a fail as much as I think it's because, these guys aren't, we just don't have enough people up here. And now the other problem that I see is that if we do fill up more houses, as our priority, then we're going to need even more buses. We're just going to need a huge number of buses to get these people's needs met. Now, as far as getting their needs met goes, I mean, I think a few are escaping. The number went down, then it went back up. So it's on the borderline. They don't tell you the actual number, but I know if it's like 60%, they start escaping. So I would describe it as we're barely holding our own as far as them getting all of their needs met, but these numbers do seem to be coming down. So I think what you would want to do is you would want to get, you know, what I would call enough people up here and then get enough buses. So maybe we should even add another bus to this for now, just because we, Lord knows we have enough money. So we'll come here and I don't see another one. Well, you know what, we can just redo the route pretty quickly and easily. All right, so I want you to not get workers. See, and here's the other thing. I don't think we want to get. I want to go out on a limb with this bus. Yeah, like don't, you know, get out, right? Yeah. So we just want people to unload here. Whatever you have, just unload them. As far as getting in goes, yeah, just take students and people down to there. We'll see how that goes. Good. So now we'll have 3 buses running back and forth, which, you know, you would think would be better than just 2. So, yeah, so this guy, yeah, they're taking students and they're taking passengers down there. So, again, I'm not sure that they need the return trip. I don't think they do, which is a little bit weird, but I think that's just one of the game mechanics. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But overall, I think we still have people escaping, and we really just need to get this built. Now, as far as, like, you know, my thinking on this, just at this point, is it's a lot to do to try to manage this and worry about it and then not have, here, let's click on here again. Have they made, see, now they're making progress again. I can't say that's purely because of the switch we just made, but, you know, at least now we're building the school again, which is good. And that could have been delayed for other reasons, like waiting for materials and such. But if part of the reason is if you're waiting for concrete, now we've upped the concrete thing, right? So, there. So I hope that makes sense. I mean, when I want to do large amounts of construction and projects, one of the reasons somebody suggested, well, we should have more varying construction offices. A lot of what I've been doing is building these construction offices. So I don't know that I would want to go through so much micromanaging and trying to jam in a city on the quick versus just building it step by step, even if it's a bit painful, because I'd rather spend my focus and construction time maybe, you know, improving more different areas, even if each area is slower to get done. I think that would have a bigger benefit in the long run if you had to get your resources going one direction or the other. We'll see. It's still, you know, it's not a total negative, other than I just don't think we have enough people to provide workers for this, particularly considering that my priority is really getting a few workers into here. And see, now that we've done this, we're getting good asphalt production. So maybe if you had another second bus stop where you could divide the people up more, that might make sense too. But I don't necessarily want another bus stop for something that's really just temporary anyway. So there's definitely ways you could bus people in and out of here to get their needs met, and I think you could have it work out just fine. It's just we're not there. So I'll keep plugging away. You know, I got my little windows open here, keeping an eye on who's building what. You know, just so you know, we've set this road to be built. I think we did that together, and then one of these guys over here got done. So now we're getting, this one should be started, and this one's being paved now. So, you know, we're getting close to another construction office. And then, like I said, when it comes to building Revergrad, I don't think I'm going to try this specifically. I think I'm going to have these guys go the Neue Revergrad. I think I'm going to have them go in here and just build, build the support buildings first, whatever we decide that is, and then start bringing people in. Because we'll have this here. There'll be population relatively close. So we shouldn't have a big problem. But anyway, all right. I hope all that made perfect sense. So we'll see how it goes. All right, talk to you guys in a few more minutes. Okay, we've got another set of flats built. So I thought I would pause time for a minute and we can drag some people into here. Wanted to share with you probably the most enlightening observation is I had assigned this flats because you would think, to these guys. The problem is they basically sucked up all the workers. So, our asphalt plant hasn't, and our concrete plant haven't been doing all that well. But so in other words, we just don't have enough people here. Another observation that I have as I sit here, kind of watch everything go. I enjoy that aspect of the game. That's why I don't find it too painful to build everything with construction vehicles, right? If I didn't enjoy that, I wouldn't be doing this. While we're building this flat, and I plan on building this flat as well, but I was using this other construction crew, just sort of got them started on it here. I'm not building the infrastructure that would keep the people happy. You know what I mean? So I think, in the long run, I'm not convinced that we wouldn't have been better off just building these buildings and then having everybody happy and then moving people in, if that makes sense. So in other words, this is fine, and I'm going to move people in here, and this is all part of the experiment, but just know that I'm, and this is not some scientific opinion, though I have observed it. I think I'd be better off having built the food factory than worrying about getting people bussed down there, because now my concern is, well, we're going to double our population in this area. Is this enough? What I will say as a further observation is this is working. So there's no doubt that even though it's not perfect and a few people, we haven't really kept the whole population, the happiness is going up. So as things settle out with the 3 buses going back and forth, it is maintaining this number of people being happy. Now, is that going to work with when we add this house? Well, I guess we're going to find out because this is all part of the experiment. But I have a feeling that we might just end up swamping these buses completely. As you can see, there's a good number of people waiting. So how many more buses are we going to need to put on here to keep these people happy as well, right? And I think you're just doing a lot of wheel spinning in some respects as opposed to just building what you need and then build the houses next. Like, in other words, we haven't been able to put these people yet over to here so we haven't really gained anything as far as the construction and the employees getting them from here, other than because these people are in here, they are going over here. So it has been a little bit quicker to build this building, but it would have been equally a little bit quicker to build this one, if that makes sense. So it's definitely what I would say is if you're going to do it this way, do your best to calculate the minimum number of these that you could build and get away with all of your constructions that you plan. And because really in the long run, you want these. You want them close to this. Unless you have a real true plan for busing, like we probably will in Neuve Revergrad, you're really doing a lot of extra work just to keep these people happy to some degree. And then again, it didn't even work out that well because all the people came over here and started building this, and they weren't going to the asphalt plant. So if you were trying to get, more use out of these plants here, and, if we were trying to really do some construction with it, it's just, I think it's not going to work that well. But anyway, enough pessimism, right? We are going on with this. Now, what I want to do is I already went down to Revergrad and found some things. So I want to relocate a good number of educated people here. And I don't think I necessarily need as many as I had. But let's just get, let's say, in the neighborhood of 80, which would be more than enough. But the reason I want some extra, oops. There we go. And one more, so we'll just get, there we go, 83. I'll close this one. Now this house didn't have too many educated people, but it's in a spot that I wanted to, I wanted to let the population reshuffle kind of thing. There you go. So population should be able to move in there pretty quickly, and that makes more sense for Revergrad than up here. So there we go. So we have 158 people over here. Now what I'd like to do is specify that they go to here and here. And I guess we could do a 50-50, right? So this should get us a lot more workers over here when it comes to where they should go to work. So now let's try to take these guys again and say, okay, now you're going to try to get your workers from here again, and hopefully that'll work out better. Now this guy is just, I'm trying to complete a few of these footpaths just so they have, I mean, we need to get them done eventually, but they were walking all the way down and around, and this will help them cut over. So now that we're done that, I have this one's already assigned to Hygidol. So what I would like to do is I think get to building like the store and these things. We have the kindergarten, which is doing its job, which is a plus. And now we should have school students. So what we probably want to do is say, we don't want any students coming over here anymore, right? So this will just be for passengers. So maybe that will help as far as the whole, you know, keeping people happy thing. If they're not also taking students down there, then the bus should fill up with more people for happiness, which would help here. So at this minute, I'm not going to add any more buses because, again, well, let's just see what happens. See if it, you know, if it happens. But pretty shortly here, we'll have everything we need up this area. So, all right, let's, we don't want you just working on a road. So I don't think it matters whether I work on the store first or this parking lot first, but we'll work on the store first. And just so you know, in that time, we are now working on this little path. These guys are doing pretty well in getting this paved, so they're ready to get asphalt in there. One of the things, I had a little issue with the signaling. Look, I still do, or do I? Yeah, look, it's considering this like two separate. That's all right, as long as, yeah, this guy has a green signal to come out. So this is, it's like, oh, you know what? I know what it is. We built up here. Ah. Now let's see. I want to do a little bit of an experiment because we cross tracks all the way up here, right? So let's just do, you know, I was wondering why we were having a problem and I didn't think it through. It just sort of, so I'm going to come here. This should be the only place that, like, there's no crisscross or anything like that. Shouldn't be anywhere across here. So is this now, oh geez. Yeah, now the guy has a green signal. Okay. So will you pull in there? Yep, good. Okay, well that should speed things up. That sort of explains why we've been going. So we're definitely not getting these tunnels done as fast as we are the other ones. Oh, there, look at that. We just sort of, yeah. Well, I'm glad we came over here and looked. That's a mess. All right, well, let's just ignore that massive traffic jam. Yeah, so you change some little things, you really need to double check things. So over here, we're getting quite close to having the train tunnels done. So still be a while in terms of time, but and these guys look like they're what? They're in the middle of paving, so good. They're making progress. So we'll be able to get more construction areas. All right, I didn't want to spend too much time looking around the map, but let's see, how are you guys doing? Well, it's hard to tell. But what building is on fire? What building? Grain storage. Okay. Hopefully the Fire truck is headed to the area. Very good. And that's one. So there are some benefits to doing it this way, even if it's a temporary stopgap, and that we should have. Yeah, we have firefighters over here. So we do have steady coverage, even if our asphalt plant. Let's see, how are we doing? 4 workers. Good. And we should have some there too. Good. Yeah, so it's, you know, like I said, I expected to get a lot better. We just brought 150 more people in here. So, and again, as long as there's some workers here, hopefully these buses don't do that dumb running back and forth constantly. Well, this is a bus for... We're good. Now we're taking 45 passengers, so at least we've maxed out the one bus. But I've also learned in this game, you really do need to let things level out. Like, in other words, this guy needs to settle in. Like, I think you get a rush on people that all need... Like, when they come over here, it seems like it resets all their needs, and they all need a ton of stuff. So... Like with this one, it's sort of working out, but it takes quite a while. But if you look, compared to when the stuff is real close, there's still a lot of people not able to enjoy this, or not able to get food, or not able to get something else. Even though the numbers are improving, it's not perfect. So, all right, since I don't want this video to go too long, and I want to come back for another segment, you know, once we've... I don't know if we get the whole thing built, but I do want to come back for one more segment at least and let you guys know how it's going with this. I might make a tweak or two off camera just for the sake of not having 16 separate little edited cuts, you know. Okay, I'll see you guys in another few minutes. Okay, well, progress has been made, and the progress is we now have a shopping center here. So a lot of what we did was pretty, I don't want to say unnecessary, but you know, it was a good experiment. I personally learned that, you know, it's not a bad way to go. I don't think I personally prefer it, which you guys probably gathered from the last segments. If we take a look here, you know, the happiness, we just saw it drop down further. So we would definitely want more buses. You know, I did have an extra issue where, yeah, look, see, something's going on. Like, why is this guy up here? You know, like, the heck made the corn guy come up to here? Yeah, these trains really do some goofy stuff sometimes, to be honest. I really wish you could set waypoints, because I think that would, what is this? Change direction now. So what I have to do the best way to clear this is we'll send this guy on his way. Once he's going, I could put him back on wait, and then the corn train, you know, I guess that's the way he saw to turn around, but why he ever came up here, I don't know. The construction train decided to do the same thing, and the problem with that is they then block up this route so that if any of these other trains, you know, make a loop and they're just coming back to their home, they then clog up this rail, which then blocks this road. So, might be an argument for an overpass right here one day, but in any event, we now have a store that I think, number of sellers, boy, we got plenty of them, don't we? And no shoppers because we don't have any food, so we better get some food coming up here, right? So I went into the road depot and I bought a couple different vehicles. And what I was thinking of is this guy, I think the closest meet, if he comes down to here, which he will have to on this road here, he can either go down all the way down to here, but I think it's actually closer for him to come to here and pick up some meat. So let's get him going first. Not that meat is the most important, but... And then I'm just going to have him sit in here and wait. There's nothing to select on that truck, so let's just start him on his way. Now, the other thing... Oops, not this. Here is that we're not making electronics, so I'm just going to purchase those in. And you know what? We might as well purchase it with the dollars, because why not? There we go. So now we have electronics for the people there, and so we need to get clothing and food. So I think, once again, I think the closest place for him, this guy, say, to get food will be at this food place. Hopefully that doesn't cause too many backups if he just goes directly there. And then once again, he'll come in here and wait. Now the nice thing is that even if we eventually make electronics, we can have all these vehicles sitting here. So we're going to load up some food. And we're going to unload some food. If I can click accurately. And then we're going to have him wait. There we go. So you can go. Now, this guy needs to get some clothing. So I guess, you know, clothing is kind of... We're not making a lot of clothing. Let's see. Do we still have... Yeah, we still have a parking space here, I think. So I probably should buy clothing as well as... Well, I probably should buy everything, huh? Just so that at least we have it there so we don't run out. So let's come here and say, you're going to come here and get clothing. And you know what? We could probably do this, can't we? Yeah, that'll get us right back up there. And again, probably, now that I think about it, second time I've done this recently. And you're going to wait in both places. Yeah, wait to load. And wait to unload. There. So now you can start. So let's go back to here and say, you know what, we're gonna do a little bit different purchasing and say, you know what, let's just purchase the food and the meat. We're just gonna purchase everything if we run out. I really wish you could buy less because it seems like yeah, so let's say, yeah, see, look, how can we get that? Like, I don't want to buy 1 ton of meat because you can only store 1 ton of meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we'll be buying meat every time that guy leaves, even though we could let it go down to, like, say, a half a ton, right? These other ones work fine, but whatever. All right, so we're going to do that just for the sake of people being happy. There we go. So now we should get shoppers, and I guess, I don't know, will they still try to go here to get needs met, or will they just come here because it makes a lot more sense, because we don't have all of the needs met? So I'm going to leave things go. Now, one of the problems is because I had the little traffic jam I discovered, like, it took a real long time to get these roads built, but so I can't build these 2 yet. And then our tennis court, yeah, I need to get these footpaths going. So if we were to take a look at each of the constructions, I do have dutifully working on getting the footpaths done, and we can get these built probably in the next episode, or maybe I'll even do that between episodes, just get the rest of this built, because I don't want to have too many construction episodes. And hey, I do want to get, you know, some more planning done. We're getting, let's see, how are we doing here? Oh, look, we're done that. So wonderful. So this is, let's just take a look. It's not this one yet. This one I gave a bunch more of the footpaths to. And then this guy, yeah, I just want to keep him dedicated to building this road out here, right? Now the problem with this is they're so small that he's going to need people. I mean, he does have buses, but this is getting awful far. So you know what I think I'm going to do? Is this road? No, this is separate. Here, you know what? Let's do this. I want to come in here and roads. And let's see. Can we just make that one last project for him where if he doesn't get any people, oops. You don't want to. Why won't you attach there? Some other infrastructure is in the way. Really? I don't understand that. Okay, well, whatever. All right, so let's commit to that. And then we have farming skis. So this will be, I don't know, potentially his last project over in this area. And we might even move his equipment to one of these. So what that means is, like, these are far more prone to be built with, you know, people. And so even though it might not make 100% sense, I am going to, yeah, it doesn't connect. I didn't think it did, even though it should that be green? Like, it you know, if we zoom in so you guys can see, that should be like yellow, or you shouldn't be allowed to select it. All right, but there we go. So we'll get a few more roads pushed up. It should be, you know, these guys should be more than capable. Plus, they'll be able to get people from here. So there we go. So the question is do we get these people happier? I'm pretty sure that's already making them happier. So the question is, will they only go onto this bus if they want the cinema or sports or something, which I doubt they're that smart. So we'll just keep both of them open. Hopefully they'll figure out which way. Do we see many people coming in? Yeah, there's people coming into the store, so not huge numbers. So between the episodes, I don't have anybody in this house yet because I was just worried about the busing. And I don't think I'm going to move anyone in. I did switch these guys over to, well, that's a bus, but I did switch these guys over to getting people from here. So with the added people, it does seem to be better. So like I said, what I think I'll do in between the episodes is just, you know, start at some point working on this. And then, of course, you know, our real next priority is to get all this done. But while we're working on this, you know, we'll have some construction episodes probably about this. But, you know, definitely want to get over to Novi Revergrad. And we have this guy. Is he done? Oh, yeah, look, he's done too. Well, this episode will never end if I don't end it, will it? So let's come here. Let's see, what can you work on? You can work on that road. Good. All right, so pretty shortly here, we'll be able to get in and get that done. Now, are you, just out of curiosity, oh no, these guys are just about done that, or they're working on it, but they're getting there. So I think, yeah, in one of the next episodes, we're going to have to deal with moving forward, right? Because we're either going to have construction projects, or we move these guys out of here, and same thing with farming ski. And, you know, I don't plan on a lot of construction in this area, so we might step everyone forward. And like I said, I'm not sure what we'll do in the next episode, but I'm pretty sure we're getting geared up for a planning episode probably. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, I'm going to get going, and I hope you have enjoyed the episode. And we now have Electrical Town working. Maybe that's a good title for the video. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.